Good afternoon, everyone. Roger Hill, VELCO Weather Hazards Forecaster. Looking at the big picture, cross-section of North America, we are looking at a major storm system that is working along the coast. This is producing almost an atmospheric type river situation in California, producing a lot of wind and rain and heavy mountain snows. And they're seeing feet of snow in some parts of the Sierra with this kind of setup. Very cold air has come down the coast, and we have a kind of a shortwave trough, and this is going to be our next weather maker here. That's going to move in on Sunday night. High pressure kind of controlled here in parts of eastern Canada, ridging southward is the name of the game. And there's a whole bunch of areas of low pressure just a little bit to the east of that into parts of Atlantic Canada. And these are kind of circulating and pushing in a little bit of cloud cover, for example, later today, Saturday, and into Sunday. And we're going to see basically a little bit of snowfall on Sunday night from this system, but it's going to just graze us as it looks right now. Another weather system that's more potent associated with this jet stream energy here will arrive along about Friday, and that could bring us more significant snowfall, potentially wet snow, and even mixed precipitation types. Temperatures are kind of close to seasonal norms overall with this weather pattern right now, and we're looking at probably the warmest day that's going to be a little bit of moderation somewhere along about Wednesday, Thursday, and then a secondary drop in the temperature just at the end of the period once we go into next weekend, the following weekend. Let's take a look at some of the computer modeling world. We have the European on the left and the GFS on the right. These are both deterministic models we're looking at today. This is our big 1048, 1049 area of higher pressure, very strong, large dome of higher pressure, and also associated with this cold pool, very cold air aloft, which is going to make a run at us. All of this taking place a little bit later in the week. Running the model, this is that was about 2 o'clock 1 o'clock this afternoon on Saturday. We're going to see this predominate and really control our weather up until the time we see this little kind of miniature here, compact weather system to kind of bring us just a little snow that's going to start, it looks like, very late in the day on Sunday. This is valid at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. A little bit of snow beginning to work in across southern parts of Vermont. It looks like it might miss some parts of our northern areas here. The GFS kind of been indicating that. And the heaviest snowfall, which is really only going to make maybe a couple, 3 inches in the southern Green Mountains. That system then moves on out on about daybreak or a little bit after daybreak on Monday. That's valid at about 7 o'clock in the morning. And then the system dries up. We're going to get into a little bit of a northerly flow yet again, and that's going to make for clear skies and what looks like a lot of solar generation at that point in time on Monday. Then this area of higher pressure kind of controls the weather up until we get this cold pool. And it's interesting to note we're seeing what we call a Fujiwara effect. The cold pool with this area of low pressure will kind of circle each other, and then the upper level low will kind of capture. It's spinning away aloft, and you'll see the circulation as the two kind of dance, and then they capture. So this is going to be a little bit more complex, but this swings in just enough cold air and some instability, but it happens mostly at night. We're talking Tuesday night, and we could catch a little bit of burst of snow showers or flurries in some parts of the Northeast Kingdom. And even the GFS shows this very well with this sort of Fujiwara taking place, and that sort of pivoting around one point and then sort of all coming together and captured. And indeed, the European and the GFS are in pretty good agreement. Ridge builds back again into the region on Wednesday for Thursday, so we have really quite a few days of decently good project weather, albeit on the colder side, this seasonal cold. And then this is the system we're watching. This is mixed precipitation. It's forced, we got a lot of blocking area of higher pressure over Canada, so the jet stream energy is forced southward. And this is the one we have to watch. It could be producing some extreme winter weather for us here. It looks like right now it's going to be passing mostly to the south, really affecting parts of New York and some parts of the Northeast, Pennsylvania, and then so on and so forth, and then pushing away along southern New England. Right now it looks like an I-95 snowfall, and not so much northern Vermont. However, the tendency is, with the European anyway, that these have a tendency to be suppressed a little bit too far to the south. So if this is further to the north, we could be seeing some more significant snow, at least in southern parts of Vermont, as it looks right now. This is 3-hourly QPF centered on the grid point of Montpelier, the GFS ensemble forecast. And this is our Sunday night little snowfall here. A little bit of that business for basically Tuesday night. And then the more significant system, kind of noise in the machine basically. This is out a long ways around a corner and very, very complex when this does develop. We'll have to wait and see. All put together, it's a very, very dry weather pattern, only about 1/10 of an inch of melted precip, and in here you can see a little bit more. This is roughly going to look about the same as total snow, and you'll see what I mean. So snow, pretty much all snow all the time. A little bit of issues here with primarily snowfall, but that noise, as I was talking about, could be a mixed precipitation event. Also some wet snow. I'll be watching that as it's going to go beyond this period. We're talking basically Friday into the weekend. And the wind category, really nothing to report here. This is the top of Mount Mansfield, 850 hectopascals or so, and you're looking at just about 40 knots there. One other thing we're going to look at here is the precipitable water, and that is extremely low. This is only 3/500ths of an inch, and normally you're probably looking at it somewhere around 9/10 of an inch or so. So we're looking at underwhelming amounts of moisture with all of these weather systems. 7-day total accumulated rainfall or melted precipitation, QPF. Busy on the west coast, not as busy in the interior, but kind of getting busy again on the southeast coast and of course up into the northeast US. But look at Canada. Cold and dry, blocking area of higher pressure, high latitude pressure, blocking high pressure systems up here, and so consequently not a lot going on. Everything's forced south, the jet stream's forced basically underneath. The main high latitude blocking is associated with this anomalous warmth over Greenland and across into the Arctic that is suppressing the jet stream with these particular weather systems here. Meteorological output statistics shows basically the warmest weather compressed into the middle of the country, cold on the incoming side and cold on the outgoing side. A little bit of this is going to start to work on in. Looking at 3 days later, it's about like that, and we warm up across parts of Canada with that high pressure system and that blocking, and it's going to be warmer to the north than it is going to be to the south. Leaving on this North American snowfall, we really had an uptick here in sort of mid to late November. And then things kind of caught up, reality, I guess, and then we're looking at kind of in the middle of the pack now. So nothing abnormal here with the snowfall. That's it from here, Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.